We are live. Hello.
Happy the day before Thanksgiving. Is that Thanksgiving Eve?
Eve,
Wait.
Eve.
Yeah.
Eve.
Yeah.
Yes. Too many Eves.
Yes.
We are almost live on Amazon, so very exciting stuff. And we are officially live on everything. Hooray!
You know what? When I have this banner about your Thanksgiving pie, it kind of hides our names. There we
Oh, it
go.
does. Oh, yeah.
We kind of want you to know our names. I'm Carrie.
I'm Katie. Hello. We're Cookbook Divas.
Yay. So I am a lifelong vegetarian, and I'm having a Friendsgiving in a couple days, and my two friends that eat meat are coming over to join me. It is a ladies' weekend. So they're going to be driving 4 hours through snowy mountain passes to get here, knock on wood. If they don't make
Yeah.
it, I'm just going to spend Thanksgiving happily by myself watching Netflix and consuming beverages that are delicious for adults.
Oh, yes.
But I think they'll be able to make it. It is starting to snow right now, but it's not bad.
Oh, wow.
So I have to cook the ham because they won't be here to cook it. They're going to arrive about 4 p.m.-ish Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, man.
So I'm an open-minded vegetarian. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. But if any of you that are watching, and I'll ask again as we go farther through the stream, I need some tips on cooking ham. And Katie, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Are you going to our cousin's house or your mother's house?
I am going to, I think it's going to be our uncle's house. So uncle.
Oh, yeah, your uncle. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
My cousin, your uncle.
Yes. And he always does that, a whole big thing during Thanksgiving, of course. But
and he's a good cook.
He is, thankful. Yeah, thank God. I'm excited for his deviled eggs. His deviled eggs are on point. But I have to be careful because I have a gluten intolerance, and I know a lot of people are starting to discover that they too have some gluten issues. So I decided to volunteer myself for desserts this year because if anything that all I want are mashed potatoes, which is gonna be gluten-free. It better be. That'd be ridiculous. And pie or a dessert. That's kind of my thing.
You are the family pie maker lately.
I know I am. I'm doing something a little differently this year, though. I am not making a pie. I am making pumpkin cheesecake squares this time. And I'm going to make with actually something that we will show you guys a little later with this Nordic ware autumn wreath. I'm going to try to make an apple cider donut cake.
Nice. With almond flour, or what do you use?
I am going to use so the stores have been out of the various different flours. So with gluten-free baking, it's really nice. Honestly, so this kind of sucks, but it's nicer, at least with texture, to make your own flour blends, or at least follow a recipe with their own flour blends, which involves like 7 or 8 different kinds of, flours. But I think we're going to be doing just an all-in-one all-purpose baking here. And I guess since I'm already talking about it, I'll just talk about it in here, and I'll find it in the carousel. But this is Bob's Red Mill all-purpose gluten-free baking flour. It's really nice if you do have people in your world who is like gluten-free. This has been the best all-in-one flour I have found. And something to take note too is that a lot of all-in-one flours will have xanthan gum already in there. And
what is xanthan gum, and can you have it or not? Or
yes, you can. I can. It just makes it stickier, because that's kind of the problem with a lot of bakes that people have, is that it doesn't stick together. It just
because it's not forming glutens, which makes things nice and sticky.
Right. Yeah. But sometimes that's a disadvantage, and it makes it all gummy. That's the problem. So this one does not have xanthan gum in it, because you can just add your own xanthan gum if you need to. And this is really nice. So baking can be very complicated with gluten-free stuff, because sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't. So I use this one so I can omit it if I want to. And it just has the best texture. It really does. It's just the best overall one. Plus King Arthur I
was just going to ask how they compare, because I'm familiar with both King Arthur flour from my pathetic attempts at sourdough during the pandemic, and Bob's Red Mill. I have a lot of they even make beans and lentil bags and stuff too. So I buy a lot of their products.
Yeah. King Arthur does a great job as well. But so those are the two brands I use if I wanted to make a really quick, all-purpose, like one-to-one. I don't want to, look up the flour blend myself, just super fast. So that's kind of what I do. But you wanted to ask about your ham, and I just took over that whole thing.
Oh,
so.
no, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
those of you watching, I have a ham that I got in the refrigerated section of the grocery store, and I actually FaceTimed my friend and showed it to her. I was like, is this the one you want me to get? But one friend says that her mom just threw it in the oven at 350 for 4.5 hours and left it as is.
Yep.
My other friend wants me to get cloves, and she said she wanted me to sprinkle cloves over it. I'm like, no. I even know this. You have to put them into the ham, and then that involves cutting little diamond. I'm like, I'm not cutting ham. I'm a lifelong vegetarian. I'm not slicing these little diamond patterns into the ham. But she wanted me to put the cloves in, and then she said, pack it with brown sugar. Pack what? It's not a pig. I'm not stuffing anything up like a turkey innards. Like, what? So then she's like, okay. So the store didn't have any cloves. I'm like, phew, dodge the bullet. She's like, okay, you can just wipe brown sugar over the top of it. Well, this friend is a sugar fanatic with a sweet tooth. Love her very much. Other friend I love very much is like, no sugar. We're all trying to lose a little weight. Like, no sugar. So I'm like, fine, I'm going to wipe brown sugar on half of this piece of ham that's only this big, and the other, but it's going to melt and migrate. So what do I do? Help, people. So my question of the day is, how do I make a delicious moist ham? So I bought a roasting pan because as a lifelong vegetarian, I have other pans I use for roasting veggies, and I don't need something like this for my dry tofurkey, which I actually enjoy. I'll admit it's rubbery. So I ran out and bought this. And so I'm going to put the ham in it. Do I put some water to make it moist? No. I literally throw the ham on top of this and just call it good?
I would cover it with also some aluminum foil.
Oh, okay.
Also to keep the moisture inside
like
as well.
This that we have in our carousel.
Yes, just like that.
Sure, actually, you have plenty, because I can't tell you how many Thanksgivings I was at my aunt's house and she ran out of this and cling wrap. Cling wrap you need after the meal, not so much during it though.
Yeah.
And I'd have to go to the store on Thanksgiving, which is a nightmare. And I feel bad that people have to work at the store on Thanksgiving.
I know.
So make sure you have plenty of Reynolds wrap and cling wrap for your Thanksgiving. Yeah. And this is my personal pet peeve. I would go to someone's house and I'm trying to help them in the kitchen and they don't have any clean hand towels to dry your hands on. Hi.
Holy cow, really?
We shouldn't be drying our hands on paper towels. That's wasteful. The environment, blah, blah, blah. Paper towels are for big, messy messes. Yeah, totally. Sopping up grease under some food shit. So please do some laundry and have some clean, dry hand towels, stacks of them in the kitchen for your guests, please.
Yes, holy cow. That, especially Thanksgiving. I'm always making a mess on Thanksgiving. I would go through a whole roll of paper towels on Thanksgiving.
That's some of the fun, though, right?
Yes, that's true. That's the experience. So, what? Oh, were you going to say something?
I think we're going to have a guest joining us in a couple minutes. Her name is Michelle.
Excellent.
We shall find out. Just checking my messages. Okay. Join us on camera if you like and promote your stream. I'm going to see if Susie will join us too. She's super fun. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. So what do we have? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was going to say, for those of you that joined us today, feel free to answer this awesome question here. What is your favorite Thanksgiving pie? I mean, a lot of people say pumpkin, but I actually think apple might be killing it this year for a lot of people. I think people are kind of tired of pumpkin these days. I don't know.
I just went to a Thanksgiving countdown calendar. I'm going to copy and paste the results into the chat here on Amazon Live.
Ooh.
1 day, 13 hours, 7 minutes, 15 seconds.
Oh my God.
That's fine. We can do this.
I know we can.
We got this.
We do. Oh my God. One of the pies that I do want to try this year eventually. It'll probably be after Thanksgiving because I just haven't prepared any time for it. But I want to try the sweet potato pie. I hear a lot about it, and it's already pre-sweet, so you don't necessarily need to add sugar to it. I've heard it kind of has a very similar texture to pumpkin pie, so I'm like, it sounds basically like a better pie.
In mid-century cookbooks and in the 70s, my mom would have added brown sugar all over sweet potatoes, but please don't. So I'm making sweet potatoes even though I don't care for them. I'm just going to bake 3 of them, and I'm just going to use balsamic vinegar, but like a really thick kind of fruity one, like a fig balsamic vinegar or a dark chocolate balsamic vinegar, and just put it on the squash with lots of butter.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to choke it down.
Oh my God.
That way my mommy can look down from heaven and be like, oh, my daughter's eating sweet potatoes finally at age 53 without throwing up.
That's funny. I'm sorry. She'll be very proud of you, Carrie.
Yes.
Very, very proud. That's adorable. So what is your favorite Thanksgiving pie, Carrie?
It is pumpkin, but I am allergic to cinnamon and ginger.
Right.
So I have to make my own. So let me show you what I grabbed, but I have some questions.
I have some questions too, so I'm excited.
So this is Libby's. This is the kind my mom always used. Of course, you can get organic, whatever. I like this because the ingredient is pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Yes.
So I can feed it to my dogs if I don't end up making a pie. It helps them with doggy issues with fiber, regularity, etc.
Fun.
And they love it. And lately, one of my elderly dogs has been kind of poo-pooing not poo-pooing his food. He's been kind of going, oh, my food's getting stale. I don't want to eat it. So I just put a big old heaping tablespoon of this on top of his food, and then he eats it all up.
Oh, hey, that's smart.
For human consumption, this is Libby's pumpkin, and I have to make my own separate pie that has boring spices in it. I can use nutmeg. Yay.
Oh, that is great.
Thinking I maybe can have cardamom. I don't know, because usually when cooks are making things with spices, they use cardamom and cinnamon or ginger at the same time. So then my tongue hurt, and I was like, I must be allergic to cardamom. Maybe I need to try it by itself. But Thanksgiving is not the time to test your allergies.
No,
but
absolutely not.
Why do we have to always use this crap?
I don't know, actually.
Evaporated milk, super sweet. They have to add vitamin D to it in case people start drinking this fortified sugar milk just to make sure they get their vitamins. I don't know why I can't just add heavy whipping cream and sugar and call it a day in this pie, but apparently you need the texture, and this probably has, emulsifiers in it that help you out. It has lots of ingredients, that's for sure.
Yes.
And so if you use this, your pie is not vegan.
No.
But I'm not a vegan. I'm a vegetarian, and I don't have any vegans coming over. So I use this, and then I cheat. I do know how to make pie crust from scratch. My grandmother was a champion pie baker. Her secret, you guys want to hear it? She's not here. She's in heaven, so maybe she'll send a lightning bolt. She wanted her pie crust to be really flaky and bubble up, and that's part of what you're doing when you're using real gluten flour. Sorry. Instead of using a little bit of ice cold water in the recipe to make homemade pie crust, she would use Sprite or 7-Up.
Oh!
But the bubbles in the Sprite or 7-Up would help bubble up the crust, and scientifically that doesn't really make sense. But it worked, and it was flaky, tasty pie crust, best I've ever had. But my grandmother had lots more time to bake and cook than I do, because I'm an Amazon live streamer and a blogger and writer, and I work 7 days a week, so I cheat.
Man, it's fine to cheat. There's no problem with cheating, honestly. Not everybody has the time to do this.
I know.
Yeah.
This makes it easy. Now, they say this makes 4 crusts. Oh, heck no, it does not make 4 crusts. It makes 2. Because a pie pan is this big, and you have to have a top crust and a bottom crust, and sometimes you have to have a top crust. For pumpkin, you don't. For apple, you do.
Yes. Yeah.
So I actually have 2 or 3 boxes of this just in case I mess up.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend, if you're not super comfy in the kitchen and you're hosting Thanksgiving, try your dishes out a couple days before. We now have How many how many days
It's
do we have?
Eve, so
One day,
it's
13 hours, 0 minutes.
Oh my god. Get bacon
Yes.
right
So
now.
I practiced my stuffing last week, and I'm glad I practiced it because it was a little dry.
Oh no.
Well, I followed the instructions on the box. Should we talk about stuffing?
Yeah,
we're here.
let's talk
Yeah.
about stuffing. That's fine.
It's hard to find box stuffing mix, and again, this is a cheat. I could use my own breadcrumbs from my stale bread, but around here our bread doesn't go stale. It gets moist and mildewy and moldy, so we just throw it out. And we try to carefully not buy more bread than we can use up. I really love some company that now has half loaves that you can buy, because I'm in a house with 2 people.
Yeah.
And we have toast every morning and maybe a sandwich at lunch every other day, but we can't go through a loaf in a week. So I don't have any stale bread. So I cheat. And Mrs. Cubison's is the brand that I use because stovetop is not the best. And it has beef fat or chicken fat in the seasonings.
Right.
And that's why it's nice and moist and flavorful. But for those of us that are vegetarian, I use Mrs. Cubison's. This is herb seasoned. You can always tweak it to your own preference. And they give you a couple directions, ways to make it, and you can play with it. It's stuffing. It's not rocket science. Oven casserole is the way I usually do it, and there's no reason for it. Just that's the way my mom did it.
Yeah.
But you can also do it on the top of the stove. Well, the top, I'm trying to decide which is going to be more busy on Thanksgiving Day, my oven
Oh, yeah.
or my stove, because I've only got 4 burners. I don't have a fancy 6 gas grill thingy.
Right.
And I don't have a 2-cavity oven here like I did in my other house. My other house, I could have an appetizer in the top cavity at 425, and then down below I could have whatever I'm baking at 350. I miss that.
That is really nice.
So for some reason, I always think you have to add carrots to this. That would be horrible. No, celery and onions. You saute them in butter. Mushrooms, I'm going to probably do 2 because everyone coming to my house, and be careful with mushrooms. They're polarizing. We have Michelle joining us. Oh, come on in.
Hi.
I'm so glad you could join us.
I'm happy to be here.
Hello.
I would love it if you would pop your link into the comments on Amazon Live, and we'd love to know what your favorite Thanksgiving pie is.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can get in the comments.
Let me drop these banners off of here so that we can see your name. Michelle is another influencer here on Amazon. She's at My Purse Strings. And
Very
I feel
cool.
like you must be on the East Coast. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I used to be on the East, and now I'm Central. I'm in the Midwest now. So
Because when I get up early in the morning, you're already live streaming. So as I'm popping into your stream to say hi and check out the deals you're showing us, I'm drinking lots of tea to wake up.
I'm drinking lots of coffee no matter what time it is.
Me too.
So you're in California.
Oh,
Are you? Is that where you are?
no,
we're
Washington State.
Yeah.
Right. I knew that. that.
Close. We
And
all
we are-
act very similarly.
We are cousins, and we work together on Cookbook Divas, and we live 4 hours apart.
That's
So we
nice.
can visit each other on camera every day at least.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I saw one last week, and there were 2 cousins also live streaming together.
Love it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to find a cousin.
So, Michelle, are you hosting Thanksgiving or going to someone else's? Are you traveling?
I'm going to. I wanted to travel, but I'm going somewhere else. I'm going locally to someone's.
Oh,
Yes.
Do you
that'd
have
be
to bring
nice.
something, or do you get to just show up and look pretty and be
No,
gracious?
I do. Well, I want to bring something. Hopefully you don't hear my dogs. I want to bring something because I'm a vegetarian and nobody else is. So
I
then
am too.
Oh, you are?
Yes,
And everyone
lifelong.
gets that. So, so I want to bring something selfishly for me.
Yay, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, do it.
I always do that before I go to parties in general. I'll eat a little bit just in case, but it's
Yeah.
getting better. People are more used to having vegetarians come over, and a lot of my friends are vegetarian. But a lot of people don't realize that if you use the wrong box of stuffing, this is the kind I use because there's no chicken fat in here.
Yeah.
So it's less flavorful for the rest of your guests. Or if you don't think about it, you got to use broth that doesn't have chicken in it, that's vegetarian.
I know. And my in-laws love to make rice-a-roni, and they do the chicken one.
Oh,
So I'm always
course.
starving when I go to their house.
And I don't care if I have a tofurkey or not, or the field roast or the corn.
No.
I can live without it. I do like them. They have a rubbery texture that's hard for people that are new to being vegetarian. I don't know if you have a favorite.
Yeah, I don't love all the meatless substitutes really. So I
Yeah.
just try to eat like more whole
Yeah.
and like get it from other
Yeah.
places. I mean, I do sometimes, but no, I don't really love any of them except field roast, I think is the best for like,
They're all high in sodium to make up for the lack of flavor, so they're kind of not healthy.
right.
And I, as someone who chose to be vegetarian because I just don't like the taste of meat, I don't like the Beyond Beef because it tastes too real. Ugh, tastes horrible.
No, I agree. I
But
agree. So, well, did my comment show up in the chat? I don't know if it did.
let's
Before I
check
send
because we really
my
want people to be able to find your stream.
I might need to go onto your.
I'll try and put it here on StreamYard too. Amazon.com/shop/my purse strings, maybe?
Yeah, that's me. But I was going to put a comment in yours, so I'm wondering if I need to go directly onto yours, which I think
There's that one. And I will put it over on our YouTube chat comment as well. And there's a private chat. There you go. Pecan pie. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Really? Oh, that's fun.
There.
I think I've only had pecan pie like one time, and it is really good. It's just it's so heavy, though.
No,
It's a hard finisher.
It's very easy to make, though. It's just
Is it?
It's like syrup, and that's it. Like,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Might as well just spoon the carob syrup directly into your mouth and save time, but no.
Sounds so good, though. Yummy. I'm so excited.
So, Michelle, tell us about your show, and are you going to be live streaming on Black Friday? Where can we see you? What's the plan? No pressure.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I actually haven't planned for Friday, but I am doing a live stream tomorrow I'm excited about with another live streamer. So it's our first dual one. So I'll have to get tips from you. So we're going to do I'm just trying to remember because there's so many time zones. It's 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be doing like beauty favorites with another live streamer. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited to have someone to talk to because it's more fun.
Yeah,
It is a lot more fun.
Being here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you figured out the Amazon shopping carousel issue? Because Katie and I don't care if we have the same items at carousel because we split the revenue. But Gina Capone and Cheryl Locke figured out a way to have their own carousel with their own items under their own stream.
Yeah, we're going to do our own carousel.
You do that with RTMP and you have to really trust the person, or?
Yeah, no, one person is the host, and then you both go live and you both have your own carousel.
Okay.
And then heard this way you're also not competing against each other if we have the same products.
Right.
Cousins can share.
Yeah. Love it. That's so exciting. And I love to see the collaboration. I was so surprised when we became Amazon live streamers. The community is so supportive and not backstabby or bitchy or anything. Love it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's the best community. And then even in terms of so I just think it's really fun. It's just to live stream.
It is. It's challenging. And for me, the worst part is putting away the stuff or swapping, because I'm going to do a Christmas live stream on Black Friday. All this Thanksgiving stuff has to go away, but I want to find it and it's stuff I use, so I can't just throw it in the closet. Where's my stuff?
Right. No, I've had a lot of storage units.
Lots of storage. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So are you guys hosting or you're for Thanksgiving? Not hosting streaming, hosting Thanksgiving.
Yes. Go ahead, Katie.
I am going to another cousin's house, actually. I have a gluten. So you were saying you were being selfish with your vegetarian thing. And I was like, I'm making dessert because I have a gluten intolerance because I want to eat it. So I'm like, I'm going to bring gluten-free stuff because I want to eat dessert. So we're doing that for Thanksgiving, going over to another cousin's house. And then Carrie, you're hosting a Friendsgiving, correct?
Yes, I have a couple ladies who don't have family, and they're going to drive 4 hours over snowy mountain passes to get here, which is why I have to cook their ham. And I've never done that before. And
I don't never cooked ham either.
I'm kind of like, it's going to smell terrible to me, but great to them. So they get to walk in the door and everything's done for them. So they're going to bring the pies, and store-bought is okay. Like, we're so casual. We don't care. The important part is the wine. Anyway, have it ready. I might have to taste it and make sure, I might have to decant it early and make sure it's good enough.
Yeah.
So I have house guests coming. So I'm taking a mental health day tomorrow, not working, probably not live streaming, to vacuum the house and clean and get ready for guests, because if I don't have people coming over, I tend to be clean and sanitary, but cluttery. Like there's books everywhere. Yay.
So are
So
your
then I'll just
vegetarian cookbooks that you're sharing?
not necessarily vegetarian cookbooks, and we have to laugh when cookbook publishers send us these big meaty cookbooks because Katie eats meat, but she's doing more plant forward recipes. We're like, don't waste the postage to send us these. But yeah, we're going to be looking through A Bake for All Seasons, the autumn chapter. The Preppy Kitchen is a seasonal entertaining book. We're going to talk about Delicious Gatherings by Tara Teaspoon. And this is Ina Garten's new cookbook, Go To Dinners. And she has some sides. I always love her sides. And then I'll chat briefly. I haven't looked through it enough to talk about it intelligently. The new Betty Crocker 13th edition cookbook came out. And the Betty Crocker cookbook was the only one my mother used in the house growing up. So I have fond memories. But luckily, the editors and recipe testers of Betty Crocker have had 40 years to improve their recipes and make them more modern and a little healthier and tastier.
Yeah, I once did a blog post about vegetarian cookbooks.
Oh,
nice.
very cool.
Nice.
What are some of your favorite vegetarian cookbooks that you've used?
What's her name? Sweet Potato. Is it Sweet Potato Soul? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think that sounds familiar. Yeah.
That actually does sound familiar.
Yeah,
Sweet.
great. I mean, I have them all. I'm trying to think what the names are.
We look at a lot of cookbooks, so sometimes we're like, what?
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna look.
And then there's another one I love. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'd have to look at my post.
Do a lot of people give you the Mark Bittman vegetarian cookbook? It's massive and it doesn't have any pictures, and I need a picture to know what my food's supposed to look like.
No.
I get gifted it so often. I'm like, why, thank you. And then I go to the library and go, here's a brand new hardcover book. Enjoy.
Yeah, no, never. And I feel like I get a lot of recipes also just from Pinterest.
Yeah.
And then I go to the same, I Google them each time. I go like I need them again. I don't remember where I get them from.
Right.
I'm going to be Googling how to cook ham.
Yeah, right.
You're a good friend, I have to say. Oh my God.
No.
Oh, it's very sweet. Oh.
One of my friends asked if she could, because she knows I'm allergic to cinnamon and ginger. So I have to make my own pumpkin pie, with this pumpkin pie mix. I don't care, whatever. But she's like, what other kind of pie can I bring? Can I bring cheesecake? I'm like, that's not a pie. No, don't bring. Bring cheesecake some other time. I say not very graciously. I'm like, there's apple pie, there's cherry. Apple pie has cinnamon, so there's cherry pie, there's blueberry pie, there's sweet potato pie that doesn't have cinnamon. Whatever. We're gonna eat some pie. Chocolate pie.
Ooh, chocolate pie.
Lemon pie.
Oh yeah, lemon meringue is good.
Yeah,
Yay.
very good. Very, very good.
So if you're a beauty and style blogger, are you going to have?
I'm not a beauty and style blogger.
You're not. Okay.
But I'm streaming with a beauty person.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not normally that. I'm more like health and wellness and product reviews. I mean, yeah. So that's kind of what I do.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, I'll have to put some makeup on for the beauty life. But yeah, so it's been fun. What was I going to ask you? Oh, what's your favorite vegetarian cookbook? Do you have one?
Yes. It's right here. I don't have it in the carousel because it's kind of off topic. So I am a visual learner.
Yeah.
I need to see stuff. It is.
I bet you I know which one it is.
Oh, I bet you do. The Forest Feast Mediterranean.
Yep, I knew that.
She shows you all the stuff you need, and then what it looks like at the end in this like pictorial style. And this is patatas bravas, which are too spicy for me to eat at restaurants. And there's a good chance they have some kind of chicken fat in there to make them tasty. So I have to make them myself. So here's her eggplant pizzettes, and she's just minimal ingredients. And I love Mediterranean food.
Yeah.
So this is my go-to, and vegetable sides. I didn't have this in our Thanksgiving carousel because Mediterranean food is not really traditional, pilgrims, blah, blah, blah. But she has like herbs de Provence, winter vegetables that could be a great side dish for Thanksgiving. Cacio e pepe spaghetti squash. I don't like spaghetti squash, but I'll eat it if you put a bunch of butter and pepper on it and cream. So zucchini strips, etc. It's just a stunning cookbook.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, all of her cookbooks are really, really, really beautiful. They're awesome.
And I guess it says a lot that I have it next to me at all times.
I know. It does. That's funny.
And this is off topic, but I just got this from the library. You'll see it on our YouTube channel, which you can find us at Cookbook Divas. It's Noodle Worship. And Katie could use her gluten-free noodles in any of these recipes. And there was so much good stuff that I was like, how many days is it going to take me to eat up our Thanksgiving leftovers before I can switch over and have room in the fridge to make some of these?
That sounds awesome too. Oh, yum.
I have ramen noodles in my fridge right now, but I haven't made them.
Oh, that's one of my favorites is ramen. Yeah. So good, especially for winter time. Oh, perfect.
It's my favorite, but it's not when I make it. Never comes out as
well. It's hard. It could be very involved to make, especially I can't imagine doing a vegetarian ramen would be a lot more work because you have to substitute some of that umami flavor and use like seaweed, I'm imagining, right? To make your own broth and stuff like that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work even if you don't.
Yeah. I need a good recipe, I think.
Yeah.
So as a wellness and health blogger, do you have any tips for cutting down some of the sodium in our Thanksgiving meal? Besides, obviously, I shouldn't be using this stuffing box mix and I shouldn't be as little as possible.
I'm just trying to eat more like whole foods, because then I just think there's not really sodium. There's just it's all the packaged food that makes you, get all the fun stuff.
And I do often under season, like my potatoes. You do need salt for your mashed potatoes while they're cooking and while you're doing it, but you can always add more later. You can't take it away if you goof. And the solution to other dishes when you have too much, I have too much salt in the soup, you throw in a potato because it absorbs the salt. But with mashed potatoes, there's already a lot of potatoes in there.
I actually accidentally made mashed potatoes the other day. My son wanted mashed potatoes, but I didn't realize I had these little like fingerling. I forgot what you call them. The ones that are like pink and purple inside.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Most like pretty mashed potatoes ever because they were like purple and lavender and pink.
So cute.
It was an accident. I just did it in the Instant Pot. I literally did nothing, threw them in, and he said it tasted good. I mean, they looked good, but they were just so like, I don't know, just so happy.
Magical. Your unicorn potatoes or something.
Right. I don't know if my teenage son appreciated, but I thought they were really pretty.
That's adorable.
Katie and I have some reluctant eater cousins. They're boys that weren't really raised trying lots of new foods, and all they wanted to eat was pizza and hot dogs. So I would try the trick of, okay, I'm going to serve them purple broccoli or purple and orange cauliflower or purple potatoes. It didn't work. They're like, that's still vegetables.
No, I love it. Carrots, all that.
Yes. Oh my God.
I did find that fancy little cutters, like garnish cutters, would work if I could make the carrot in a flower shape. They would be so embarrassed if they knew I was talking about them right now, but I didn't say their names. If it had a little flower or like a sandwich cutter shaped like a boat or something, then they would eat it. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, right.
That'd be clever.
Funny how I don't have to cut pizza into funny shapes to get them to eat it.
No, or mac and cheese.
That's what I wanted to talk about. If you're hosting, and those of you that are watching, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a side dish just in case someone brings a picky kid? Because I do typically make macaroni and cheese and just kind of keep it in a crock pot on the side just in case. And no one needs to eat mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. Like the adults would be like, I'm sure that's delicious, but I got to get some potatoes. Nice to have a backup because you never know.
Yeah, mac and cheese is a good backup.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't have anything else. That sounds perfect. Usually I'll just make them eat whatever. They're stuck with what they get.
Or just
have
bread,
a potato.
Right? I feel like my kids could just eat bread.
Yeah, a roll or something.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm busy to make my own dinner rolls. So we're going to be eating these. But on top of them, I'm going to suggest, I don't live anywhere near a Trader Joe's, so I was delighted that you can get Trader Joe's products on Amazon from third-party sellers. This is fig butter, and it tastes so good, and you just put it on the top of the dinner roll on top of your mound of butter. Yum. And it just adds to it. But you do have to floss after you eat this because there's little fig seeds like there are. Like, well, probably should floss. But I was so excited that I could get this on Amazon. And I think Katie is putting it in the carousel for me, possibly.
Yep. It's
Yay!
there. Yep.
The one disadvantage of buying these on Amazon instead of from Trader Joe's, which doesn't have an e-commerce platform, is the third-party seller goes to the store and buys 50 of these for $3 a piece, but now they have to make a profit. So this is $7 or $8 or whatever dollars.
Yeah.
So I try to buy multiple at a time because then it helps save you money, and the third-party seller deserves their profit for hauling their butt down to Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Do they have the everything seasoning? Because I use that every day.
I think they probably do. Last night I did an entire stream or shoppable videos of Trader Joe's products. It was my excuse to have lots of peppermint candies in the house. And I was shocked how many Trader Joe's items are available on Amazon. I used to sell them on eBay 15 years ago when there was only 100 Trader Joe's in the country. I would go buy gingerbread cake mix. And one time the wife of the ambassador to Mexico lived in Tijuana, I think, and she bought like 15 boxes of gingerbread cake mix. I didn't ask why, I didn't judge, but I'm like, could you just get some gingerbread cake? Anyway, she apparently needed them. But that was a tidy profit and easy to ship because they were cylindrical.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. I'm gonna have to hop off.
I'm so glad you joined us.
Yeah, thank you.
It definitely is more fun with more people. So I'm excited about my stream tomorrow because I like the dual stream.
We're excited watching it, and I'll be sure to say hello in the comments because we love the engagement. Thanks for coming, Jill. Happy Thanksgiving.
Do.
All right.
Yay.
So, Katie, since you are gluten-free, what are some danger items? Like, we all get to take home leftovers from our family's houses.
Yep.
You can't take home leftover stuffing, and I wouldn't be able to too because it probably would be made with chicken broth. There won't be any leftover pies because yours will be so delicious.
And I usually make my own, like one for home because I'm just that greedy. I just like my own stuff. Anyway, what was your question?
Do you have any tips for using Thanksgiving leftovers the next day at breakfast? Because I do have some ladies that are going to sleep in. We're going to probably drink some bubbly. We're going to get up 10 or 11, and we have to use up our stuff. So I know we can use the ham on Eggs Benedict. So I bought lemons and butter because even though I take a lot of shortcuts, I'm not baking my own dinner rolls. I do know how to make hollandaise from scratch, and I will do that for my friends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're a very sweet friend. Mm-hmm. Not only are you making ham, but holidays. I need to go over there.
So I, as a vegetarian, can make mashed potato fritters or just potato patties because we're not going to have hash browns when we have mashed potatoes to eat up. I personally will eat stuffing the next morning. Again, that's part of my breakfast.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Pie and coffee for breakfast works too.
Yes, it does.
What about the turkey?
That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, you could do like an omelet if you wanted to with your turkey.
Or
the
ham.
Or with the ham. A breakfast sandwich with the turkey wouldn't be bad either. If you wanted to dress it up, obviously a little bit more, that would be not too bad. Turkey's not my favorite meat, to be honest. It really isn't. And I know you're a vegetarian, so talking to you about the turkey is a little
no,
isn't it not? Yeah, it's not my favorite. Although my dad or Doug makes great turkey. Like, he was the only person that actually convinced me that turkey could actually be really good. And I think it's just a lot of people don't know how to cook turkey, so I think that's kind of the problem.
It's challenging, and I think a lot of people like a turkey sandwich now and then, and they'll get it at a restaurant, but no one actually wants to eat turkey, but it's such a tradition and everyone does it. It's like, well, I think we kind of have to. But in Britain, they'll eat turkey at Christmas. Also, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so they'll have turkey and ham at Christmas. Like, okay.
Yeah. And honestly, turkey sandwiches with my dad's turkey the next day is really good. And that's like my mom's favorite thing too, is to have, she's like, don't eat the turkey so I can have the turkey for my turkey sandwiches. And we're like, Okay, fine, Mom. You can have all the turkey.
Sure.
So there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with all the Thanksgiving leftovers. Oh, I'm actually very excited now. I'm so hungry.
Shall we, now that we have some people joining us, shall we
Oh!
talk about our table topics,
Yes.
family questions? Your family, it depends, everyone's different. Some of us really enjoy passing around table topics or using them to start conversations. Some of us
Sure.
have relatives who do all the talking at the table rudely. We for sure don't want to bring up religion and politics at the table. That's a no-no. That's very rude. But for my Friendsgiving, we think it's kind of fun, and you get to know your friends in a different way sometimes because topics come up. We can't just talk about what are you watching on Netflix right now? Which Hallmark movie are you going to watch? We want to get a little deeper. This is not your mom's dinner party table topics. You definitely don't want to pull it out at the family reunion. This is for friends only. And they have thought-provoking questions, and I'm going to cherry pick a couple interesting ones because I don't want to accidentally, I can't ask this question about public nudity.
Oh, yes, please don't.
This one is, if you were in jail and could request any person to break you free, who would you choose?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, Keanu Reeves, obviously, bail me out and take me out to dinner.
Oh, or just keep me company in the jail cell. I'm sure he'd do that too. Oh, my God.
It wouldn't be my boyfriend because he'd be pretty mad that I had gone to jail. I mean, I think he would bail me out a couple days later after I learned my lesson.
Hey, that's better than never. I don't know who I'd want to bail me. Well, my husband's pretty awesome, so he would, but like to break me out of jail.
Oh, that's true. It said break. It didn't say bail. Good point.
So, I mean, I guess breaking out of jail, you could still pay somebody to like bribe somebody to be like, oh, hey, let her out. So
is it like a small town jail where they're hooking their Jeep up to the bars on the window with some chains and just pulling the wall off like in the movies?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was imagining. And I was trying to think of like a magician or something, like a famous magician to get me out, or evil. I don't know. Somebody needs to.
I'm popping over to see if anybody else is joining us. Nope. Okay. Just checking to see if we have some other fabulous live streamers.
Yeah.
Here's another question from Table Topics, Not Your Mom's Dinner Party. Have you ever been conned?
Yeah, actually.
Yep. You mean like this morning when I'm like, get on, put some makeup on. We're going on Amazon Live for just 10 minutes. Don't worry about it.
No, not that. No, I had an interview for a art job, and it was, I don't know, like things are different these days. Everybody is online and doing, everything's through an app. Like, here's my interview through a chat app or whatever. And so we went through this whole interview process, and they were like, okay, we're going to send you a check so that you can go buy all of these different products because you're going to need them for the job. And I was like, and you would be able to buy these items through our secondhand seller. And I was like, that's not okay. I almost was conned, I guess. But the fact that I went through this massive process was really, really awful.
Was the scam like you would cash the check and then it's not real and it bounces and they get, because you bought the supplies and then they get the money for the supplies from you? Oh, man.
Yeah. So scams are getting really involved these days, really involved.
Wouldn't it just be more lucrative for them to just get a job? It would take less time.
So, although if you conned even 2 people a week, and it was like a $4,000 check, so that's $8,000 if you got 2 people a week. That's a lot
of art supplies. Were you sculpting marble?
I know, right? No, they wanted like all this computer equipment, all this stuff, and I was like,
wow.
Yeah. So anyway.
So have you ever been conned in the early days of the internet, before we had live streaming cameras and YouTube and all that? I made friends on a BBS with a young lady named Trisha Delvis, and she was my same age. She went to a different high school, and I would chat with her every night. And then I went to a party and found out it was a guy named Robert that was just bored and like messing with me, but he didn't have like a sexual motive or anything weird.
that's
He was
good.
just being a goofer.
Oh,
But I was 15 and he was 20. So we actually eventually ended up becoming friends, and he was a nice guy and not like a creeper. But that was really inappropriate. But it taught me an important lesson, because if you can't see the person on the other side of the screen, you don't know who they really are.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got lucky.
And our cousin needs to know that, because he thinks he's talking to teenage boys. I think he's talking to grown men.
Oh, no.
So be careful on the internet.
Yeah, please be careful on the internet.
So this is the Table Topics Not Your Mother's Dinner Party, but Katie has the Huga game. Or Huga,
yes.
The Scandinavian game that's hard to pronounce.
Yes.
And it's great for cozy time with family. What is that all about? I don't think I have a copy of that.
No, it says cozy conversation in pleasant company. So we are in current pleasant company, and everybody on Amazon Live, feel free to join us in this comfy, cozy conversation. So here's what the box looks like. It's cute. So here is one of the questions. It's kind of like a Table Topics game. So it says, describe an opportunity that you turned down, but now you wish you had accepted it.
Oh,
I know, that's a deep question.
Well, when Keanu Reeves proposed to me and I said no, just kidding.
My God, I was going to say, please tell me this is real.
Opportunity. Oh, okay. When I was about 17, I was a model, but I wasn't prettier than anybody else. I just looked good when a professional makeup artist put it on me. And I'm 6 feet tall at the time before I shrunk, in shoes. And so I was offered an opportunity to model at a tiny, tiny runway show for antique vintage clothing.
Oh, whoa.
And I really screwed up at the last minute. I chickened out and gave them like an hour notice, and they had to go find some other model. So I screwed them over, and that's embarrassing. But I suddenly got like panicky, like, I can't do this. And all I had to do was just walk and look pretty. Like, who cares? And there was only going to be like 200 people in the room. Psh, big deal. So I shouldn't have turned that down, but it's not like I would have launched a massive modeling career, but it would have given me like, oh, that wasn't too bad, and given me more confidence. Because 10 years later, I have apparently got confidence anyway. The American Association of University Women came to my small town I was living in and wanted me to talk about being a female computer entrepreneur. They're like, it's 50 people. I'm like, sure. I walk into the room, it's 500 people. But that was okay, because I was confident on the topic, because I knew a lot about being a female computer nerd. But they really should have warned me that, oh, it's 500 people, so you can kind of brace yourself. Like, what?
My God, my soul would have died. I would have been like, I probably would have died of a heart attack. You did well.
But here we are on Amazon with 8 people watching us and 1 on YouTube, and we're not shy at all. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, sure, love to have you say hello in the comments, though.
Yeah, definitely, you guys. Let us know what your guys' Thanksgiving traditions are. What are some things that you're doing for Thanksgiving? What are you worried about for Thanksgiving? I know there's a lot of people who are a little frantic right now, because technically this Thanksgiving might be one of the first ones that everybody seems to be going back on board with actually getting together and having bigger celebrations. So it's kind of been a while for some people. So
I got out of the habit of cooking for massive amounts of people. Yeah. Luckily, I'm only cooking for 3 of us.
Yeah.
I'm resting.
Still, it's yeah, exactly. Like, oh crap, how much do I make for all of these people? Exactly. Here's one question from this Huga game. What are you looking forward to in the next 12 months?
Ooh. All the new cookbooks and books that are coming out. And movies.
Oh my God. And shows. There's so many things coming out.
Yeah, live music is back. Yep.
Oh, live music. So many cool things, actually.
We are going to have a little cousin family reunion this summer.
What? I didn't know
One of our cousins has brain cancer, one of the Oregon cousins.
Oh, no. I did not hear about
we're going to do a family reunion just in case.
Yeah.
Because we need to spend more time with her. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's our generations only. None of the boring old people. Sorry.
I didn't know that. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the next question. What outfit or accessories that you had in the past did you think was the coolest ever? Immediately already like, oh no.
Question isn't fair because you grew up in the 90s when it was cool to have like grunge and flannel, but I
That
grew
is
up in
true.
the 80s with the horrible day glow. And okay,
That's true.
so you know how my name is Carrie.
Oh God, yes.
I had a pair of like bloomers. They weren't parachute pants. They didn't have pocket, but they were bloomers, and they kind of reminded me of I Dream of Jeannie, where at her ankle the pants get tight again and show off her dainty feet. Well, they were orange. So the cutest boy in school, according to me, Chris, decided to very affectionately, he wasn't bullying me or making fun of me, chucklingly, he started calling me Carrots.
Oh.
So I couldn't wear those pants anymore, and I thought they were so awesome. And then like 40 years later, we're talking about our high school reunion, which none of us are really going to, and he calls me on the phone. I have not talked to him in 30 years. And he's like, "Hey, Carrots." And I'm like, "God damn it."
Oh my God. That's funny. That lasted a long time.
But I'm going to say his name is Chris, and there's a horrible word that rhymes with Chris that I called him right back. Involving yellow liquid. That's all I can say.
Oh, you're so nice.
I'm so immature. That's fine.
It's fine. I am too. Okay, I'll do one more question in here. Ooh, I think I might know the answer to this. If there were suddenly 28 hours in a day, how would you spend the extra hours?
Reading a book that I don't have time to read because I'm working. Yes.
I know. Yes. No, an extra 4 hours in the day. Oh, man, that would be amazing. So this is a really fun, it's basically table topics. There's 3 different questions kind of on the front. Oh, you guys can't see that.
Yeah,
But there's
washing it out.
yeah, there's 3 questions on each card that are kind of just, conversation starters. They're weird or not weird, but they're just like, they're just different, just something to get to know people on a rather than surface level, just, like these random stories. Like I had no idea about your carrot story, and I've known you forever, and I would have loved those pants. They sound so nice. So if you are looking for a really fun game or just something to have on hand, I really like this. This is a great thing to just have on hand.
Mm.
It's basically table topics. It is Huga, and it has like it's 300 different questions. So there's over 300 questions. That's a lot of questions.
Those are good for those of you that are going out to restaurants and you're kind of waiting for the food to be served. Although Thanksgiving is usually a buffet at restaurants. I wouldn't know because I always stay home and cook.
Yeah.
This is the Table Topics Holiday Edition conversation pack. It's pretty portable. And you'll see me talking about this on our upcoming Christmas live streams. Be sure to hit the follow button if you like Christmas. You're going to love Cookbook Divas at Christmas time. We're going to talk about Christmas cookbooks, Christmas toys, Christmas plush toys, books for kids, Amazon deals, lots and lots of gourmet food, Christmas treats, etc., and cookbooks. So be sure to hit the follow button. And we're going to do Christmas trivia very often, mostly in the evenings. I'm on the West Coast, so right now it is 11:36 a.m., and my streams for trivia will be at 5, 6, 7 p.m. on the West Coast. So
Awesome.
This is a very Merry Christmas table topics, New Year's Eve table topics, and this is Thanksgiving. And now it's my turn to interrogate Katie.
Oh boy.
I like the little flowery snowflake on the back of the card.
Yeah.
I got to find a good one. And they do a really good job of not having religion and politics in here. If anything, maybe it's spirituality, which is fine.
Oh, yeah.
What's the hardest thing about the end of the holiday season?
It's my birthday. It's all the birthdays coming up. It's just like one thing after the other. There's no breather time.
Your family, January and May are months when there's like a party every weekend. So why is that hard?
It's just very tiring. Like I love my family, obviously, but it's like, It's you have Thanksgiving and then you have a couple weeks. Actually, for us, it's not even a couple weeks. It's like Thanksgiving and then we have to do Christmas with one family and then a Christmas with another family and another family. And then our birthdays are up and then it's every weekend is a birthday. And I love them, but I also need a break.
But true, it wouldn't be fair to go to your birthday party and eat cake and get presents, be like, yay, and then not go to everyone else's.
Yep, exactly.
But it does take up all of your weekends. Yeah.
It takes up the entire weekend. And we live far enough away from each other where it's like the drive is, around 2 hours the entire, so it is kind of an involved process. It's fun, but it's just like, where did the weekend go? It's not here anymore.
Does anybody have a big decade birthday coming up? I think your mom is still a couple years out from. Oh, yes, 30. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Yep. And that's why we're taking her later on during better weather for her 30th birthday girls getaway.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So for me, the hardest thing about the end of the holiday season is I do love entertaining and I love the holidays and the Christmas lights and the food and blah, blah, blah. We spend January, the first couple weeks, joining gyms that we'll never return to after February. We're eating healthier. We're making resolutions. We're cleaning up our houses and decluttering. And there's nothing to look forward to. That's true. I love my life. Don't get me wrong. But I take down my decorations. I do put up Winter Wonderland for a couple months. But I don't care about Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. I wish like January 31, although you would still be in birthday hell, January 31, I wish there was something festive and a reason to have light in the winter darkness and one more feast of a meal.
That would be true. Yeah, actually, I actually do a big thing on Valentine's Day, and I think that's kind of why I do it. Because I like cooking massive meals, and it doesn't have to be just my husband and I. We'll just like have people over. Yay, we all love each other. Hooray.
It's still winter. We're still miserable. Maybe
it's
live
cold.
And it's gray for months.
Yes.
Is part of it.
Yeah.
I need to do a better job of having dinner parties in the winter, like January, February, March. Book clubs, come over for a cocktail party, keep it casual. I need to be better about that.
Oh,
that's why we love entertaining cookbooks.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Oh, so I actually put Lord of the Rings in the carousel. Because I think so I'll either do it for Christmas or for Thanksgiving. We kind of have to alternate. I'm evil. I like to watch some horror movies during Christmas because that's just who I am. But for Thanksgiving,
I'm going to rewatch Bird Box tonight, actually.
Oh,
it's been a few years.
Yep. Yeah, see, exactly. But I love the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy for Thanksgiving weekend because you get Thursday, a lot of people get Friday off, Saturday, Sunday, and if you don't want to do all that Black Friday shopping, it's kind of nice to just chill and you got all your food. We're going to be doing
here on Amazon Live.
Yeah.
Black Friday, I might be in pajamas that are very covering. Don't worry, you guys. Just do your shopping online and not have to fight the crowds, be out on the cold. It's going to be snowing here. We are going to go to 2 wineries, though. We can. I promise to sip and dump. That's where you're not, because you have to drive in the snow to get home. It's dangerous. So I will have a little glass, sip, and then dump the rest of the wine to be careful. And then you buy the wine and take it home and you can drink as much as you want because you're not driving.
Oh my God. That's actually a really good idea. I'm surprised they're open on Black Friday.
Oh yeah. This is a small town with no stores, so might as well go drink.
Oh my God. Well, that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. But yeah.
So that there's a table topics deck that I didn't grab, so I just wasted room in the carousel. Sorry. It's called What Would You Do? It's really fun to play with kids, even though it's not meant as a kids family-friendly deck. What would you do if, someone dropped $50 on the ground? Sometimes kids come up with the funniest answers, like, I would pick it up and run as fast as my little legs can take me. You never know what a kid is going to say.
It's true.
I'm just kind of paging through the carousel, and I wanted to ask you a question, Katie, because as you know, we're Amazon live streamers. We want to show you really cool stuff. I almost sent you some chocolates, but I wasn't sure what is the issue with gluten-free and chocolates.
Oh,
because I can't always send you chocolates. What's in them sometimes that people with celiac can't have?
Well, sometimes wheat is sometimes in chocolates, especially like Cocoa Bombs. I don't know. Soy sauce has wheat in it too. I don't know why.
Why? It's
Yeah.
soy. Oh,
I know. So
can you
it's
eat
weird.
these?
Does it say it has wheat in it? But that
Let me look.
sounds really tasty.
And the cross contamination, because this is maybe made in a factory that
That
has
too.
wheat on the property.
I'm pretty fortunate.
This is Trader Joe's dark chocolate sea salt caramels. I am a chocolate snob, as Katie knows. I won't eat just crappy
Any
cheap
old
chocolate.
Yeah.
But I will eat these, and they're so good. And you get this cute little box that I'm not going to share with anybody. I'm not going to eat these on camera, but you can see that I had one last night. And they have these little salt crystals on top, so it's very messy when you eat it. Have a little napkin by your chin. They're so good.
Yeah.
But let's check out the ingredients to see if Katie can have it. They are buttery smooth caramels drenched in Belgian chocolate, then sprinkled with sea salt from the Dead Sea. Okay, ingredients. Dark chocolate made from cocoa mass, good, sugar, cocoa butter, soy lecithin, an emulsifier,
I think we're
natural
fine so
vanilla flavor, sticky toffee caramel made with sugar, glucose syrup, wheat.
There it is. Okay.
Good to know. Good thing I didn't get you any. Now I'm not going to eat one on camera and torture you by having you watch me
Oh,
eat it.
it's okay. Well, thank you for that.
Let's chat about my cute candles.
Yes.
I'm going to be burning these while I'm cooking, but not while we're eating. When my guests walk in the door, I want it to feel cozy. They're going to smell their ham, and the onions and mushrooms from the stuffing are going to smell good, mashed potatoes.
Yum.
But I like to burn a candle all day long while I'm cooking, glass of wine in one hand, got the candle on the counter. This is by DW Home. It is really expensive, so don't buy it if you're not familiar with their scents. This is warm apple cider, and I love that it looks like a Starbucks Frappuccino.
Yeah, it's cute. I like it.
The company tells you not to use this rubber lid to extinguish the candle, but I always do. It's fine. All it does is put a little black mark in the rubber. I've never once smelled burning rubber. It's fine. This is just enough of a hint of the cider that it's not like a cinnamon in your face bomb, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
It's
More
soft.
apple-y?
It's creamy and apple-y. Little hint of cinnamon. No vanilla. I don't care for vanilla. And it's soy wax that's high quality, and it doesn't make my eyes burn, which some candles can.
Oh, wow.
And if you keep the wick trimmed to a 1/4 inch, this will burn over 50 hours. So even though it's a $36 candle, you're going to get a lot of use out of it. But of course, you don't burn these candles more than about 3 hours max at a time. You have to let them cool. And this morning, I was burning this candle, DW Home Chocolate Pumpkin and Sea Salt. And I have to be careful because it might still be liquid. No, it's fine. So I'm going to have to trim those wicks before I light it, because if I lit it right now, it would be really smoky and sooty, and it's not good for your lungs to breathe those particulates. So I'd have to trim them. I like this chocolate pumpkin sea salt because it smells savory, not super sweet. It's soft and creamy and smells like cocoa, but it doesn't make me want to run over to the sink and grab some hot chocolate and start drinking it, although that sounds pretty tempting right now because it's snowing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Chocolate pumpkin and sea salt by DW Home. High quality ingredients, scented candle, and this will also burn for about 50 hours. This one's $29.75.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a really good price.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You have a lot of other Thanksgiving things. We haven't even talked about like the cranberry sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's change our question of the day banner.
Sure.
I want to know what people have to think about this. Question of the day. Whole cranberry or jelly?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm going to pop that on the screen. So I do not care either way, or I should say, or fresh. Let me edit that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whole cranberry in a can, fresh or jelly. Okay. I know how to make my own cranberry sauce from either frozen or fresh cranberries. I can't get fresh cranberries out here. I'm in a tiny town of 700 people, but I got frozen. So if my friends show up, how long does it take to make cranberry sauce from scratch on the stove from frozen berries? Maybe I should defrost them.
Tanya.
Oh, hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
have you
joining us.
here.
Yes.
Thanks for
absolutely.
visiting us on Amazon Live. Tanya, do you open... Oops, I grabbed the wrong can. Do you open a can of whole berry cranberry sauce? Do you make it from scratch? Or do you need to have the ridges from the can line on the side of your thinly sliced jellied cranberry sauce? This is what I prefer because I grew up in the 70s and this is all we had. You could not in the 70s in San Diego, California, get fresh cranberries. We
Yeah.
didn't have the interstate shipping and the global, getting the cranberries from the East Coast wasn't set up to happen. Now you can, but I still prefer this. It's so good. And I have this system where I get a big old fork or spoon and I get a bit of stuffing and then mashed potatoes. The stuffing could be on the bottom, mashed potatoes on top, and then the jellied cranberry can be on the very top of that and go. Katie's making a face.
I can't.
Tanya
I'm
likes
sorry.
canned cranberry sauce better. Yeah, like one of these. I don't have this in the carousel. It makes me mad because Amazon owns Whole Foods. 365 Whole Foods Market made this can, but I can't advertise it on Amazon in our carousel.
Oh,
That's fine.
really? Okay. Good to know.
It's just not available. So you just have to go shop for it at Whole Foods on their website. So that's my
Okay.
Ocean Spray cranberry, and there's the jellied. But I also wanted to mention our family tradition, which I think a lot of families have. You open up a can of pearls. This is medium, but I would get the jumbo if I can. And you drain them. You get the salty broth off. And you don't rinse them. You just throw them in a beautiful dish, like a crystal bowl. You leave it on the counter, and then everyone's kids comes up with their dirty hands, and they stick 5 olives on their fingers, and they laugh and run around the house, and then they eat them off one at a time. And that keeps kids busy for 5 minutes. Yay!
Yes, it does. And
So
I
I
remember
always
that.
have pitted ripe olives. I am really careful because once I broke a crown because there was a little bit of a pit left, and I crunched on it, and my crown went bye-bye. So be careful, but they're pitted.
I had no idea that I guess that makes sense. Sometimes there's remnants in the canned foods. So,
The manufacturing process.
not
and some things
perfect.
happen. I wasn't
Yeah.
mad. I didn't sue.
Oh, that's good. God. Yeah, I remember that. So what
Ooh,
other
can I
things-
talk about vegan broth? I should have talked about
Yes.
this
Yeah,
when
the
Michelle was
mushroom-
here.
Yeah.
This is a half-hearted recommendation because it's not my favorite vegan gravy. And I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian.
Gravy.
But it's convenient. It's in a Tetra Pak. And if I were invited to a friend's house and I'm pretty sure they haven't thought of the vegetarians, I'll bring it in my purse. It's probably rude to ask to cook it, but if it's a good friend, you're like, hey, can I borrow a saucepan? And you're kind of throwing off their schedule, but they should have planned ahead because they know I'm vegetarian. This is by Imagine Vegan Wild Mushroom Gravy. You just throw it in the pan and heat it up. It's not condensed. You don't have to add anything, but I would personally add a tiny splash of heavy cream.
Oh.
And maybe a little bit more seasoning. It's not super flavorful, but that's okay. It's easier to add than take back. And then the texture can be a little powdery sometimes. That's okay. And you want to shake really well and stir it really well. But it's a convenient way to get gravy. And I do love putting gravy on top of my mashed potatoes and then cranberry on top. So
Yes.
it's one option, just not my favorite, but this is the one that's available on Amazon today. So I thought I would mention it. Yay,
Oh my
here
God.
it is.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Oh, sounds so good. I can't wait to eat for Thanksgiving, actually.
I know. I should have had a bigger breakfast.
I know.
Let's talk about vegetarian broths and vegan broths.
Yeah.
This is vegetarian no chicken broth.
Oh.
Let's find out if it's gluten-free. Usually when they advertise it all over the package, and I'm not seeing
Usually.
that. They're mentioning that it's non-GMO and it's organic. I don't really care about that at this point. Recyclable packaging, the Tetra Pak. Okay, organic vegetables, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free. There's a little
hey.
gluten-free heart. Okay, good.
Awesome.
Or diamond? Diamond. So why do we use no chicken broth? It is a bit salty, but it's not the worst. We use this when we cook our potatoes. We use it when we're mashing them just to help a little bit, along with heavy cream and butter.
Yum. Yum.
And we use it when we're cooking rice to make it more flavorful. or even steaming vegetables, the flavor can kind of get on them a little bit. I use this for lots and lots of stuff, but especially making soup from scratch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do make a mirepoix. I make soup from scratch with carrots and onions and celery too, but this really makes it more flavorful. And I haven't been sick for a couple of years, thanks to staying home and isolating. But when I was sick, I would just sip this hot broth to make my throat feel better. And I was in bed all bundled up, and it was delicious. This is my favorite. Vegetarian, no chicken broth. It definitely makes a difference when you're cooking some rice dishes like your sides. I don't think my corn casserole that I'm making calls for this at all, so I won't use that. But my stuffing, I'm going to use this mushroom broth to kind of add the, is it umami or umami?
Umami.
The umami flavor. I'll use this mushroom broth. And I've already opened it, so I only have half of it left. I have to open a second one.
That will be really good, I think.
Yeah. And remember, if you make your stuff, I'm going to make my stuffing the day of. So the next morning, if there's any leftover stuffing, I'm going to re-moisten it with this mushroom broth to make sure that the cubes aren't crunchy, and then heat it up again, and I'll just add some of this to it.
Oh,
that is not in our carousel, or it is? I don't know.
It is in the carousel.
Oh, cool.
I got it.
You're awesome.
Yep.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
We talked about the stuffing. We talked about pies. We talked about table topics. We didn't play. We'll save this original one for a little bit later in the stream when we have new people watching. Although I'd like to ask Tanya a question now that she's here, maybe, if she is still watching. Oh, this is a good one. I like the positive ones. Tanya, what's the most fun party you ever attended besides this Thanksgiving live stream, of course?
Oh.
So I'll put this aside. Table topics, questions to start great conversations. This is the original deck that started it all. And now Table Topics has like 50 different varieties.
Yeah.
What's the most fun party you ever attended? What about you, Katie?
The most fun party I've ever attended.
That we can talk about on the air on a family-friendly channel.
That is also the question. God, I'm trying to think of the most fun. Every time I get put on the spot, my brain just like blanks out and I just forget everything in my life. Like, oh, I wasn't born today. No, it's not your fault. Man.
Oh, Tanya hasn't attended fun parties.
Oh, Tanya. Oh.
Well, that's because, Tanya, you and I are the people throwing the fun parties, and it doesn't count if you're the host. I would say the most fun party I went to was Burning Man.
That sounds fun.
It was also exhausting and dangerous and wow. It was the desert for 7 days in 110-degree heat. Wow. And I'm not a camper, but it was fun.
That sounds super fun.
It's not really a party, it's an event, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a now I can't even compare. I was gonna say like my birthday party last year.
I really want to have midnight dinner parties. It's my dream because I read about that in The Night Circus, which is one of my top 5 favorite books ever.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which I still don't think Katie's read. That's fine.
I'll make time. I need to make time. I gotta make time.
I still haven't read The Stand by Stephen King, and that is a problem since we have a dark book blog. What is wrong with me?
Huge. It's big. And it's Stephen King is too much sometimes.
I would love to throw midnight dinner parties, and I'm a night owl, but I'm afraid all my friends are in their 50s and they go to bed at 9 like old people, and they would never come to my party. So I would just have to host it for people in their 20s and 30s that still have energy at midnight.
I'm coming over, Carrie, to your midnight party.
Thanks for having energy.
Yes. Oh, Tanya, your birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. You're a December baby.
You get to have festivities for months around your birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, this one says, in which activity would you like a lesson from an expert?
In which activity would I like a lesson with an expert? Oh, man. How about everything? Honestly, actually, probably accounting.
I shouldn't judge. That sounds boring, but useful.
No, I need it. I really do. That's so funny.
Tanya is a Sagittarius girl.
Oh, trapeze art would be super fun. There's
Really?
my fun one. Or like a ninja warrior. Like if I could do like a a novice ninja warrior, that would be super fun.
I want to take more cooking classes. I stopped during the and you know what? Because I didn't want to be there in person. I took one online virtually. It wasn't the same, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
The best cooking class I ever took was specifically they narrowed down the niche. It wasn't a Russian cooking class. It was a Russian New Year's Eve appetizers class. And by the end of it, you could make from scratch 5 different appetizers. One of them was a beet walnut dip that was amazing.
Whoa.
And to serve specifically on New Year's Eve, traditional Russian things. And that's where I learned how much Russians love mayonnaise. There's mayonnaise in everything.
Oh my God. It's not bad, but wow, that's cool though. That's a fun class. Where was it? Was it PCC?
Yes. PCCcooks.com is the website.
Very
if you
cool.
live in the Seattle area, go to their cooking classes. They're amazing and expensive. $55, whatever, worth it.
Yeah.
And they give you the packet of recipes. And I took a dumpling cooking class. I've never made dumplings afterwards, but the Russian New Year's Eve appetizers I've made several times, but not on New Year's Eve. I should change that this year.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't think I've ever had a Russian appetizer. That sounds really good.
So Katie, I see some interesting stuff behind you. What
have things? Sorry.
Can you show us our show and tell? Yay.
Yes, I can. So I have, well, first of all, I was mentioning, that almost fell.
I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah, this is beautiful. So this is the Nordic Baking Ware, their autumn wreath, and it is very cool. I know you're doing pies, but I've been doing pies almost every year for like 7 years for our holiday Thanksgiving. So I wanted to try something different, and this I felt like needed to be used. And I'm going to try to do a gluten-free apple cider spiced cake. And
Yum.
Yeah. And this is a showstopper. Like, this is really beautiful. And it's specifically autumnal. It's not, I've seen bundt cakes used for Christmas and stuff like that. But, and I think that's an English thing, actually, with like they light the bundt cake on, I don't know what they do.
I often light cakes on fire, but in the oven where they're not supposed to be on fire. My bad.
No, Carrie. No. But yeah, I want to try to do that. And then I actually had this really tasty literal butter, and I'm trying to find a recipe because every time I say apple butter recipe, they're telling me the jam recipe. I'm trying to get literal butter that tastes like apple cider.
I love it.
Because I had that. So I'm going to try to do all of this for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
In this. Yeah, and it's beautiful. So it's an easy showstopper kind of recipe. But I'm also making these pumpkin cheesecake squares. And I know you were like, cheesecake.
Well, she meant like a boring vanilla cheesecake.
Oh.
That you could have anytime. Like, no, it's got to at least have some pumpkin.
At a store. Okay, so this cookbook is my favorite gluten-free cookbook. And I don't mind actually cooking a lot of things. I say fresh. But what I mean is like having multiple different kinds of flours and making my own flour blend and all of that stuff. This has been the most accurate, amazing baking book I've ever owned. Ever.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot of evers.
Everybody who's had some of my baking from this book, they're like, oh, that's gluten-free. And I know lots of people say that these days, but for real, like, people don't know, or they're like, this is the best cake I've ever had. And I'm like,
I would not have known that your pumpkin pie was gluten-free that when I ate it last couple years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
I would not have known.
Yeah.
Did you make a chocolate pie that time too?
I might have. Because I try to make it different. And I've done apple too, especially with this book, but they have this awesome pumpkin cheesecake squares, and I've made these a couple times. It's also a great vegan book as well. So it's vegan and gluten-free, which is kind of hard to find, especially good cakes. Let me see if I can find this. I've made this awesome orange polenta cake. I've mixed this is a orange chocolate layer cake that I've made too, but let me get to this pumpkin cheesecake bars. Here we go.
Ooh.
I'm so excited. So the bottom of these
Ready.
bars is a ginger whoopie pie cookie, and you blend that. So I have to bake these cookies first, and then I blend the cookie to make a crust for these cheesecake bars. So, but this has a lot of awesome basic flour recipes you can make. Why can't I think of anything right now? My brain just died. Flaky pie pastries, cookie recipes, brownies, bars, everything. And even like good savory stuff like scones and stuff like that are in here. Biscuits, bread. So I think this is a great cookbook, and I'm using it. I use it all the time during the holidays, and I always get really excited for the holidays to use it. So I'm using that this year, but I also thought this isn't really Thanksgiving-y, but this is something that's really, really good too. So this is Magnolia's lemon pound cake. So if you just want to throw something together, especially with like a small gathering, I've been kind of contemplating whether or not I want to go to our Thanksgiving thing. I'm worried people are going to be sick and showing up. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. But having something small and tasty, even for breakfast, like if you just wanted, a coffee and a tiny little cake, I mean, easy. This is really nice. You just throw it together in the morning and call it a day. So that was something I wanted to point out as well. Oh, we have our countdown. Okay. The other thing is tea. We never talked about our teas.
Oh, you know what? If you don't mind, I am going to go turn my kettle back on. While you're chatting about this tea, I shall return.
Yeah.
I promise. I won't leave you hanging, cuz.
Okay. So this is a great tea, and I'm trying really hard not to open it because I really want to consume all of it, but I'm trying to leave it for Christmassy time. But it has a lot of really great holiday flavors in here. So this is Warming Joy. Not only is this great for yourself, but you can use this as a gift too. Clearly the wrapping is perfect. So this is a lot of different varieties of tea. We have black teas, green teas, and herbal teas in here. And the packaging is really cute. There's a raspberry ganache tea, which I am trying desperately not to consume. Like, that's the one thing that was the biggest draw in this. And we also have a winter chai and a cherry marzipan tea. So all the teas in here just sound so good, perfect for the holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's something that I've been wanting to drink a lot of. But one thing I actually have been drinking a lot of, because I'm a coffee drinker, so I try not to overconsume the caffeine. My favorite tea to drink during the holiday season is actually this Rooibos Madagascar Vanilla by Celestial. I think I've been drinking their tea since I was really, really little. But this is caffeine free, so I'm not staying up all night like, oh God, what do I have to do for Thanksgiving? It's really nice. It's warming. I personally love vanilla, and I think it's great for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, all of that. It's just one of my favorite teas to go to. And it's really, I don't know, it just smells really nice. I really, really enjoy it. So this comes in, we have it's like parchment paper, and then we have our little baggies here. So be careful. Oh, I love Rooibos. I love vanilla. I know Carrie doesn't like vanilla very much, but it's actually, I think, my favorite flavor. But this is one of my, hello.
I have to wait for the kettle to boil. Why? Why?
I know. Why can't it just do it? But yeah, I really enjoy this tea for later on in the day. It's really comforting. It's nice to just warm up at nighttime before bed. And it's, if I drink too much caffeine, I get like crazy jittery and worried, and then I don't sleep. So it's good to have some herbal teas on hand. So I always have this one. It's one of my favorites. So those are the teas that I have actually today. And some also gluten-free. I have this really good cracker that I just discovered. We can't have bread, obviously. I mean, there's gluten-free bread, but we can't really do all the bread and butter and stuff. So my mom does sometimes really good dips. Like she'll have like a whole cracker, cheese, meat spread sometimes, or a charcuterie board for Thanksgiving. And these crackers are a great vessel for all of those awesome goodies. They're just, I don't know how to describe them. The flavor's good. It's not too salty. They are a little thinner than I anticipated, so they do get a little crumbly, but they're just like the perfect cracker. I haven't seen crackers like this that aren't super doughy or just chips, if that makes sense. So this is a brand I wanted to share with people, especially if you are gluten-free, because I've never actually seen this brand before until today. Or not today, until a few weeks ago. So check this one out. This is really, really good. So something to keep in mind with allergies in general, especially gluten-free, is a lot of the replacements tend to be like using soy or nuts or something like that. And that's the same with like vegan stuff. Vegan food tends to supplement by using gluten or nuts and soy, etc. So it's hard if you have multiple allergies. Just keep all of that stuff in mind when you are trying to search for stuff. These are going to be really great for Christmas too. My mom makes this really good pesto, sun-dried tomato, and I think it's cream cheese like spread. Oh, it's so good.
Yum. Like not a dip, but a spread. Because a dip, the cracker can hold up to it, but a spread you have to put on top of the cracker because it's so thick.
It's so good. Yes. Anyway, but yeah, those are just a few of the things that I have that are more Thanksgiving themed, especially for gluten-free stuff.
What's the big rectangular leafy box behind you? Is that candles?
It is candles.
I'm so nosy. Sorry. I'm like, what is that?
No, you're fine. We have, this is a great gift pack, but it has fun candles. I don't think they look very Christmassy, so I mean, obviously this is a great Christmas pack, but it's kind of more bohemian to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is really awesome. And the scents too kind of encompass there's a bunch of different scents here, which is really nice. It's not just holiday scents. Sometimes that can be really, I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm laughing because I wanted to know the company name, and it saes Drunken Tango Store.
Does it really? I hope I got the right one.
That must be the name of the store, not the maker of the candles.
It might be. One thing that's cool about these is that they do have like this ribbon here, so you can pull it and then it'll let loose, because these are actually tight, very tightly sealed. I just put the ribbon back in since I haven't lit any of the candles, but the tin is really pretty. I personally would rather have, I will be lighting holiday candles from Halloween through Christmas, and sometimes it's like, okay, after Christmas and when you get your presents and stuff in January, I'm kind of over the clove and cinnamon and all
peppermint,
the warm,
cranberry.
I'm like ready to move on to some other scents. So I like getting gifted candles that are not holiday scents, even though people love to give holiday scented candles during the holidays. Does that make sense?
And by the time you open your present December 25, you've been smelling Christmas candles since probably
forever.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No, I probably won't light it until next Christmas, which feels crappy to me. So I like these because there's different scents in here. This is wood sage. This one is Mediterranean fig. We have a spirited mint. And we have, what else? We've got vanilla, I think, in here, coffee. So that's really fun. You can give the whole box to somebody as a gift. You can use this yourself. And one thing I like to do too is get these big boxes and gift them to other friends and family, and just kind of like pick the scents that I know certain people are going to like and give them those scents. And it's just really convenient and nice just to get a tiny little gift basket full of different things. So
and does anybody do white elephant gift exchanges anymore? I don't, because I feel like they've come and gone. But my friends have hey, let's have a party after New Year's Eve. We all have to go back to work, but let's trade gifts that are really nice, but they just don't appeal to us. So you can't bring anything weird or yucky. But I could say, oh, I don't really care for vanilla candles, but here's this $80 vanilla candle my aunt gave me, or some perfume that just doesn't suit me. And so you actually end up going home with cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah. I know a few people that still love doing white elephant exchanges. I'm always like, I overthink those. I'm like, is anybody going to like the gift that I give them?
You take it too personal.
No, I shouldn't, but I do. Anyway, but yeah, that is all the things that I have on my little shelf here.
Would you like to see my secret weapon that I think is going to save my bacon, save my sanity tomorrow or
save your
Thanksgiving?
hams?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
I have a secret weapon. Let me find it in the carousel. It's at the very beginning. Now, I want to point out, I'm going to hold up my buffet warmer crockpot server with 3 cavities, but it's a little bit different than the one in the carousel because mine is sold out. Mine's copper. The one in the carousel is actually different because that is a warmer with 3 cavities. It is way different than what I have. Whoops. So I'm technically not supposed to have that in the carousel. So sorry. Mine is heavy.
Oh, be
It
careful.
is by Nostalgia Electrics.
Oh my God.
And
Whoa.
it's with 3 crock pots in it. You can choose to use them just to keep your food warm with a nice little lid on to keep the steam in, or you can actually cook in them.
Oh my God. Wow. That's amazing.
The buttons have a keep warm, a low, a medium, and a high. So this is going to help a lot. And I know I'm only cooking for 3 people, but I'm doing smaller quantities of lots of flavors. Part of that is we want to try lots of different foods. Part of that is, what if I mess up the nasty green bean casserole? We still have something good to eat. So because I have 3 cavities, I'm going to do the green bean casserole in a tiny casserole dish that doesn't take up a lot of room in the oven because we just want a couple bites and have a good laugh. I'm going to put the nasty dried onions on top. I'm going to use a can of Campbell's mushroom soup. It's hilarious. It's very retro, very 1976. Yeah. But for the good stuff, I'm going to have the stuffing in one, the mashed potatoes in one, the mashed yams in the other, and that frees up a lot of room in the oven. Oh, thank goodness.
Holy cow.
Yes. Smart. So this is different than what's in the carousel. I apologize. Couldn't find it. It's sold out because of the copper color. But what's in the carousel is Nostalgia Electrics buffet warmer. Let me click on it so I can talk about this intelligently. 2.5 quarts. I also own this. I just don't have it on hand at the moment. It's in the garage. I usually use that to have a plain rice, a wild rice, and some kind of a corn dish. And I am making corn casserole. That just reminded me. And I meant to tell Michelle, when you make corn casserole, and I'm going to use Paula Deen's recipe because that way I can count on it having lots of butter in it. Yes. She calls for a box of Jiffy corn muffin mix. I can't use that because it has animal fat in it. It has beef fat.
Really?
So I have a box of vegetarian corn muffin Jiffy mix that I'm going to use for my corn casserole.
Oh, wow.
Yum.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome. Very cool.
So I have 5 cookbooks to talk about, but we're going to briefly just cherry pick the autumn section. We're going to talk about Preppy Kitchen. It is John Cannell. I love him. He's a YouTuber. Go look him up. The Preppy Kitchen is such a great YouTube channel, and I bet he's doing a ton of Thanksgiving content right now.
Oh,
wow.
Probably.
We're going to look through Delicious Gatherings by Tara Teaspoon, or Tara Teaspoon. I don't know how she says her name. Ina Garten, Go To Dinners, has some sides I want to talk about with you guys really quick. And then we'll take a peek at A Bake for All Seasons by the Great British Baking Show.
Hey.
And then let's just quickly check out the new 13th edition, which is ginormous, of the Betty Crocker cookbook.
That'll be awesome.
But while I do that, if Katie, do you want to take a tea break too? Up to you.
Yes, I'm going to grab some water.
Do it. I'll put me front and center. I'm going to give you guys a Thanksgiving pep talk. I do this every year over on one of my blogs that I've been writing since the early 2000s. Every year I give myself a Thanksgiving pep talk because I'm usually the hostess. I want to share this with you as well in case you need to hear a pep talk today. This pep talk is meant to encourage us and lift our spirits because tomorrow is kind of going to be a stressful day for those of us that are hosting. You know, we might be working up until the last minute. cooking, cleaning, baking, getting the house ready. I have to freshen my guest beds in case they're a little bit dusty because no one slept in them in a couple months. So we need to find ways to de-stress and relax and really give ourselves positive thoughts. We need to be flexible and open to new ways of doing things. A guest might show up bringing an unsolicited teriyaki chicken. This happened to me one time. She didn't even eat it. She brought teriyaki chicken that I didn't ask for and then ate all of the turkey. Like, okay. Had to be gracious. Okay. The spirit, she thought she was helping. We need to enjoy our Thanksgiving too. And no one's going to enjoy our Thanksgivings if we're stressed out and crying in the kitchen. So I hope that you'll take some comfort from this if you're nervous or stressed out or feeling overwhelmed. Just the fact that you're relaxing and watching an Amazon live stream is great. You're giving yourself some room to breathe and relax. I hope you're having your favorite hot beverage. Mine is Earl Grey tea. So this pep talk is meant mainly for people hosting Thanksgiving at your own homes, but several parts of my pep talk might also apply to those of you that are traveling or attending drama-filled family dinners nearby, or if you're spending Thanksgiving alone, which I might be doing. Supposedly, my friends are getting in the car and driving over to join me. My boyfriend's with his parents about 4 hours away, and that's fine with us. That's what we do. If my friends can't join me because of snow, I'm going to be okay. Let's talk about it. This year, we're going to think positive. We can do this. We'll get through tomorrow, hopefully enjoying getting ready. If not, we're going to have stories to laugh about for years to come. Maybe it'll take a while to start laughing. Let's remind ourselves that we are lucky to have family and friends to spend time with, even if they drive us crazy. We just have to make sure we're not the relative that drives everyone else crazy, right? No, we're not. Of course not. We're fortunate to have food to eat at our feast today. And I work at a food pantry on weekends, and it reminds me to be grateful. These people stay in line for an hour to get very little food from us. Those of us that are spending Thanksgiving alone, it's okay. We don't need to take it personal. We can't always be with loved ones. We live far away from our friends and family. Some of our friends are still isolating or being careful. It's fine. There are many people across the country that are probably thinking warm wishes for us on Thanksgiving. We could pick up a telephone and call them. Maybe not during the Thanksgiving meal. They're going to be busy. But it's so rare to get a real phone call nowadays. Most of us, or a FaceTime or a Skype, not just a text or a Facebook note. We have good friends who might be delighted to spend time with us later on in the weekend after the day of feasting is over. And I do have a tradition, although usually I do it the day after Christmas on the 26th, Boxing Day. But sometimes I do it the day after Thanksgiving. Our friends come over, help us clean up and eat leftovers, and we go out to a movie or cocktails or whatever, because your friends are your chosen family, and they're your people that you've chosen to spend time with. Our friends will celebrate with us, laugh with us, listen to our venting about our crazy relatives. We might compare stories about our more colorful relatives and their antics. We can commiserate and then agree to let things go and only talk about positive things after our venting is over. We can choose who we spend the rest of our holiday weekend with. And I'm all in favor of cozy parties where people wear pajama-like clothing and slippers and play board games while eating leftovers. I love to do that. So let's not stress ourselves worrying about how our Thanksgivings are going to go. Whether we're traveling or hosting or spending the holiday at someone else's house, let's try to have the best day possible. A lot of it is in our attitude and just letting things go. Let the stressful parts roll off us gently. Not every comment has to have a response. Laugh later. I'm going to remind myself to be gracious. Whew. So nothing has to be perfect on Thanksgiving. Architectural Digest is not going to come over and photograph my house for a magazine. My table doesn't have to be elegantly set, and it's not going to be because I don't have fancy dishes at this house I'm living in. We don't have to have our house spotless and artfully decorated. It does need to be sanitary, especially the bathroom. Our children are probably going to spill, throw up, run around screaming. They're going to have potty accidents, throw tantrums, or behave in ways that embarrass us. That's okay. Pottery Barn Kids is not going to come over this evening to photograph your children for their next catalog. Oprah is not filming a show in your home on America's Best Behaved Children. It's okay. Vogue isn't here to film our stylish outfits that we're wearing to visit our families. I'm going for comfort myself. Anthropology is not sending a photographer to document your lovely vintage style aprons and how clean we kept them during our cooking. It's okay. Look nice and clean and respectful, but don't worry about what you're wearing. Today doesn't have to be Instagrammable. So women, I'm talking to you. Often we as women put pressure on ourselves that the rest of our families aren't actually involved with. We want to have the perfect Thanksgiving and take care of everyone, but our families just want to hang out with nice people and watch some football, drink some alcohol, and eat some food. We want to have the biggest, tastiest dinner on the most beautiful table with fresh flowers and fancy dishes, but our kids just want to play with their cousins and eat pie and watch some of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Nobody asked you to make a fourth pie. Nobody asked you to make turkey tabletop paper crafts that you saw on Pinterest. No one's demanding that you have to serve handcrafted appetizers before the turkey and mashed potatoes come out of the oven. Thanksgiving is about being with family and friends. You might overcook or undercook the turkey. That's okay. People still can eat your mashed potatoes and your stuffing. Don't bring up religion and politics at the table. And if your old, rude uncle does, just graciously try and change the subject. Sigh inwardly, don't feed the troll. You're allowed to yell loudly, "No religion and politics" at the table as a reminder, and then smile sweetly and ask a gentler relative to tell a nice story. If you have a stained tablecloth, it's okay. You put it on the table fresh and clean, right? The furniture that your relatives are sitting on has cat scratch marks and dog hair. That's okay. It just means you have pets that you love. You have stains on your apron from cooking? Good. That means we're going to have a great meal. Something's going to spill. Wipe it up with a smile and a laugh. And if somebody breaks something, they're going to feel terrible. I always yell, "Now it's a party." Once I did have to cry because it was a very meaningful dish, but you know what, that happens. Anyway, someone cries, hand them a tissue and give them a hug. If that person is you, have your cry for a couple minutes in the other room, but don't let it ruin your day and don't make it become a huge drama. Don't escalate. Some things are never going to change and they're out of our control. Our houses are never going to be as clean as our mother-in-law's, and our cooking is never going to be as good as our mother-in-law's cooking is. That's okay. Your sister might have a nicer car or a bigger house than you and let you know about it. Whatever. My house is smaller, and that way it takes less time to clean. It's all going to be okay. We can do this. Let's keep the peace. Don't try to convert anybody to your religion or your way of eating. I'm a vegetarian. I don't care if you eat meat. That's great. We're going to take care of ourselves Thanksgiving morning. I want to have a clean dress on, makeup on, and my hair brushed. I got to do it first thing in the day, but I'm going to take time in the shower. I'm going to have an extra cup on Thanksgiving morning of my favorite morning hot beverage, get the caffeine in there. I'm going to make sure I have some quiet alone time, which I will because my friends won't be here yet. Do something relaxing. Take 5 minutes to flip through a magazine or catalog. Give yourself the time. Delegate the work. You totally can do it. You don't have to be the queen of Thanksgiving. You don't have to do everything. If someone offers to help, let them. It's very gracious. So, a special note for anybody that might be spending your Thanksgiving alone. It happens. It's okay. It happens to all of us. Not everyone has family close by or the ability to travel. Sometimes we get sick right before Thanksgiving or don't have the energy, and we're protecting people by not being around them with a bad attitude or a sickness. Sometimes you have to work on Thanksgiving or the day after. It's okay. I still have a good time. If I end up staying home alone on Thanksgiving this year, I can watch my favorite Thanksgiving movies on Netflix, have a beverage, cuddle my dogs, and eat all the food myself. It is fine. I'm going to have a book to read. It'll be awesome. So, my special challenge is be there in the moment during the entirety of your Thanksgiving meal. We all want to whip out some pictures. Put the phone away. Really, really be present. That is my challenge. It's something I struggle with too. Spend quality time. It's hard because I'll get a bunch of texts from other family members. "How's your Thanksgiving going?" Text them back quick. Put it away. It's fine. The people that are in the room with you took time out of their busy lives to spend today in person, celebrating with you face to face. That's it. That is my Thanksgiving pep talk. If you made it through the whole thing, thank you so much for listening. And now we are going to look at some cookbooks.
Yay!
Woohoo! Oh, how do I get us both back on the screen? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Woo! I hope you feel pep talked up.
I am pepped.
Okay. I want to look through the preppy kitchen section on autumn.
I don't think I've seen this cookbook yet, so
It is awesome. Like I was saying earlier, he has a YouTube channel. Look it up, Preppy Kitchen. He's amazing. Fall chapter starts right off the bat. Let's see what he recommends for fall. I got to go past the introduction. Here we go. Oh, what's that? Yum. Okay. His recipes are, I'm not going to cook a chai babka. That's not very. A leek and potato breakfast quiche.
ooh, that sounds really good.
You could use some leftovers in there, I bet.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I'm going to skip the Mexican egg bake apple butter,
Ooh, yeah.
but it looks
Yum.
like it's the jam, not apple cider
It
butter.
is.
It's
Yep.
the jam. Well, you know,
But it's
I
still
tried.
good. I love apple butter.
Yes. Those of you that are serving a Thanksgiving salad, I usually don't. And Katie's mom actually always asks me to bring a salad. I'm like, no, make me bring something better. And then no one eats salad on Thanksgiving.
No, nobody
It's a
eats
waste.
salad on Thanksgiving.
But if you were going to, here's a beautiful persimmon fennel salad, but I would probably serve that closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas, someone might eat a little salad. Here is a delicata squash gratin that if I wasn't already making sweet potatoes and corn casserole, I would definitely make this. That looks
That
good.
sounds
And I
good.
don't like squash, but delicata squash is the best of the most evil things on the planet. Sunchoke risotto and fried sage. I don't think anybody serves risotto on Thanksgiving, but you could.
That sounds so good, though.
But as a vegetarian, I get a little risottoed out because it's at restaurants that don't know what to do with vegetarians. A charred vegetable lasagna, not very Thanksgiving-y. I'm moving on. Dutch oven chicken pot roast with fingerling potatoes. You could serve
Oh,
if you still have company on Sunday and they're turkeyed out. An herb stuffed pork roast.
yum.
That actually could be a Thanksgiving main for people that don't like turkey.
Yep.
This would be something good to bake in the morning for my guests if we have eaten up all of our King's Hawaiian rolls. I could get up and bake them chive and Parmesan buttermilk biscuits.
Yum.
Oh, here's some bars. I bet you could. These are pecan shortbread, which you can make gluten-free, and rosemary caramel. Look at that
Whoa.
picture.
Wow.
Pretty.
That's beautiful. Yum.
Now, do try to have a nut-free dessert in case if you're having a big Thanksgiving, you don't know everybody. Make sure you have a nut-free dessert.
Yep.
This one is not it. Apple cake with maple buttercream.
Yum.
That could go in your bundt cake pan.
Yeah, that could.
Mhm. I love this guy's cookbook. Spiced apple pie and brandy creme anglaise. And I have brandy in the house and heavy cream. I could make that.
You could. That would be good.
I would just skip the spices that I'm allergic to
Yeah.
and replace them with paprika. No, I'm just kidding. I was seeing if you guys were paying attention. That's a beautiful. My pie never looks like that pretty.
That takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of time when I'm the
ridiculous.
only person cooking for Thanksgiving in my house.
Yeah.
A poached pear tart tatin. That's nice. That's not Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Those of you just joining us, I'm looking through the Preppy Kitchen seasonal cookbook. I jumped into the fall chapter to see what he might offer. Maple pumpkin pie.
Oh man.
Okay,
Yum.
did he use a stencil? Because that can't
think-
be hand
yeah.
piping.
No.
Is it
Is it piping or powdered sugar?
It's thank you. It's powdered sugar. He must have used a stencil.
Yeah, definitely.
Maple pumpkin pie. And I do have maple syrup in the house, but do you use maple sugar? How do you get it mapley? Maple syrup. Grade A. Oh, now I'm not a fan of meringue. Oh dear. Okay, some people are going to like this. I would have a no thank you helping, which in my house, your mom makes you take a bite and not throw it up or spit it out. You have to swallow. Sweet potato and toasted marshmallow pie. Woo.
Wow.
That is too much
That's like a
topping for me.
wait. Marshmallow pie?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I
They
don't know
whip it
about
up and then it's all fluffy. It's not Cool Whip because you're making it from scratch. Vanilla bean and fresh fig cake. I would serve that at Christmas, not
pretty.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's really pretty though.
Seems healthier too for what you have. Persimmon pecan galettes.
Ooh.
I'm
Ooh,
seeing
yum.
persimmons a lot in recipes lately. Are you?
Yeah, I think that's a
Swedish
traditional.
apple cake.
Ooh, yum.
Looks like they
That
put
almost
them
looks like
whole. Hmm.
it's like a
In a
Dutch baby.
special project he assigns to us, make some brown butter to have on hand to add flavor. I should make brown butter to add to my mushroom stuffing, to be honest. I should have it
Oh,
ready on the
that
side.
sounds so good.
Mhm.
Yum.
So that was Preppy Kitchen's fall chapter, and I got several ideas from that. I may or may not make them this time, but wow.
Yeah.
Next, let's check out Delicious Gatherings. Recipes to Celebrate Together by Tara Teaspoon, or Tara, probably Tara. Woo! Gorgeous photography alert. Katie's going to pop this cookbook into the shopping carousel here on Amazon Live, so you can click on it, check it out. Introduction, gather around dinners, a holiday dinner. I'll go to that one. Sunday supper. Let's go to the sides chapter. We'll start with holiday dinner, page 23, and go to the sides. Okay, this is not Thanksgiving-y. Baba ganoush with pickled onion and pomegranate. Delicious, but not Thanksgiving-y. Hummus. Za'atar cauliflower with golden raisins. If you wanted to have an international flavor to your Thanksgiving meal, this would be a good way to do it. And I bet we all have cauliflower in the house right now, possibly. A jeweled quinoa salad.
Ooh.
So this would be putting a little Mediterranean twist on your Thanksgiving. I wasn't in the holiday chapter. Here we go. Classic turkey in pieces.
Oh, that's kind of nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Makes it easier.
It looks like it's Hasselbacked, but that's not what they would call it if it's turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey stock and gravy. Important recipe. I'm too lazy to make these, but here's your silky soft dinner rolls.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
So like pull apart.
Fresh orange cranberry sauce. Okay, now I can make it from scratch. I have no reason not to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tara's Teaspoon, for that recipe. Okay, now you're talking. Spicy maple sweet potatoes with cinnamon pepitas.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds
Holy
amazing.
moly.
I like that.
Favorite sausage stuffing.
Okay.
She's providing everything somebody needs for a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, she is.
Miso, honey, Brussels sprouts. I would
Ah.
probably not do miso. That's too Asian for this meal. I would just use maple. But yeah. And
I
my
love
friend who's
Brussels
coming over, Dawn, loves Brussels sprouts. So I maybe should go get some. Here's a beautiful Thanksgiving spread.
Beautiful.
She calls it holiday dinner. And then let's go, I think it was page 85. I wanted to look at something else. Serious sides. I bet she has some Thanksgiving-y sides in here. Now, barbecue baked beans. That's great for summer. Cornbread. Okay. Grape and feta quinoa. Not Thanksgiving-y. Moving on. Roast carrots with lemon feta dip.
Oh, man. That sounds really good.
That really does. Whoops, we have a comment that I missed.
Yep. From Germany, Yay Savage says, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. We're so glad you're watching us. We are looking through Delicious Gatherings by Tara Teaspoon, looking at the sides chapter. Oh, there's our author. There she is.
Yay.
And she's teaching us how to make some delicious sides. Spinach and artichoke tart soleil. I thought it said salad. I was like, that's not a salad. Tart soleil. That's beautiful.
Wow.
That could be Thanksgiving-y. Asparagus and peas with Parmesan breadcrumbs. Have that instead of a gooey mushroom soup, green beans from a can. This would be better.
Yeah, that sounds way better.
Yes. This is getting a little Mexican. Chili cheese fries, chili con queso, avocado salad. Okay. Her sides are not. Here we go. Cauliflower and couscous gratin could be an alternative to potatoes for people that can't have, like diabetics can't have a lot of potatoes. This could be your side instead.
Sounds
and the
really
couscous is something Katie couldn't have because it's wheat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. Garlic and herb mac and cheese for the teenagers, perhaps. I know it's killing you. I have so much fresh garlic in the house right now. Okay, that is Delicious Gatherings by Tara Teaspoon. We have 3 more cookbooks to look through, and then Katie and I are going to go eat our lunches.
Yum!
Because we're looking at food all day. Shall we do Ina Garten next?
Oh my gosh, yes.
This is her brand new cookbook that came out, a month ago? And she
Oh, is it
always
really?
has
Wow.
sides that I love. So I'm going to
Yeah.
skip the dinner. This is go-to dinners, but I'm here for the sides. And I don't think she has a turkey recipe in here. Vegetables and sides, page 109. I'm going to jump ahead and we'll peek at her desserts too.
Yum.
100 and... Oop, it jumped so far ahead. I don't know what I just did. I thought it was at the end of the book. I guess I can't read the numbers. Marble potatoes with garlic and herbs.
Ooh.
That could be an alternative to mashed potatoes, but I'm doing mashed. Molasses baked beans, some other meal. Parmesan polenta for people that don't want to have mashed potatoes could be a good side.
Yeah.
Savage says, I never tried to cook American dishes, but do make international dishes like from Japan and Ghana, where my parents are from, and of course, German dishes. Nice.
Awesome.
You know, American, we don't really have our own dishes anyway. We really don't. We borrow dishes from other cultures. And of course, many of the early immigrants weren't just from Britain, they were from Germany. So I think our Christmas menu is more heavily influenced by German dishes than Thanksgiving, right? Cornbread, no, we're not doing cornbread. Parmesan polenta. Maple roasted honey butternut squash. This is the recipe I'm going to use tomorrow.
Oh, very cool.
I find a butternut squash to replace my sweet potatoes. I probably am having sweet potatoes. I love butternut squash, and I'm not going to use brown sugar. She has you using brown sugar and maple syrup.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I have to remember that she is the queen of making dinner. Garlic roasted haricot verts.
Ooh.
That could be an alternative to the mushy green beans out of a can.
Yep.
Parsnip puree, an alternative to mashed potatoes.
Yeah. And good.
Although parsnips might also turn into carbs for diabetic people. Buttermilk biscuits for the next morning.
Yum.
Dipped with perhaps some leftover turkey gravy. Shall we peek at the dessert chapter?
Yes.
I think we should. Panettone bread pudding I would serve more as a Christmas item personally.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Christmassy.
A dark chocolate tart, also Christmassy, but if you serve one for Thanksgiving, people will eat it.
Yum.
Vanilla pound cake, boring. Nope. Some other time. Bailey's and cream ice cream to put on the side of your pie, perhaps.
Oh, yum.
What type of cookbook is that? Well, this is a lady that specialized in being a caterer and then ended up doing lots and lots of cookbooks, about 13 of them. This is go-to dinners, and she just keeps everything really simple and easy to make, but flavorful. She definitely uses some butter, but not as much as Paula Deen. And that is the dessert chapter, and we'll leave it with a Christmas looking ahead cinnamon spiced shortbread. Katie and I cannot eat this. She can't have shortbread. I can't have cinnamon. At least you guys can.
Yes.
Love this new cookbook. I'm going to be using it a lot.
That sounds awesome.
2 more cookbooks to go. Let's do the Great British Baking Show, a bake for all seasons.
There we go.
Let me get this stupid banner out of the way. I'm getting tired of looking at it because it's covering up the book. Okay. This is recipes by Paul Hollywood, Prue Leaf, and all of the bakers. And they start off with spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I'm going to jump ahead to the autumn chapter and see what they have for us. This is a baking book, but some of their stuff is not desserty. It is savory. So I just saw something amazing. Banana tahini and caramel loaf, maybe for the next morning with coffee.
Wow.
But you don't have time to bake that right now. We got to cook some turkey. We got to brine some turkeys. And are you guys defrosting your turkeys? Are you brining them? It's time because we have a countdown.
Yeah.
These are pumpkin rolls that look like pumpkins.
That's cute. I like that.
They have a little trick where I think you use dental floss to cut into the round dough gently, and it keeps the shape, and you have little pumpkins.
Oh,
So
that's
cute.
cute. That's clever.
Wow. Double chocolate beetroot devil's food cake.
Whoa.
Not very Thanksgiving-y, but gorgeous.
Yeah.
Vegan sausage rolls. Okay, not Thanksgiving. Fig honey and almond cake. Yeah, maybe for next
Yum.
week.
Mm-hmm.
toffee apple cake, 3 layers.
Oh my God. Look
That
at
could be a Thanksgiving showstopper right there.
That's beautiful. Wow.
That would be amazing. Vegetable samosas. Okay, that's not Thanksgiving, but I want one so bad right now. I'm going to have to make this one of these days, but not on Thanksgiving. Feta, grape, and fennel focaccia.
That sounds so good.
Yum.
Oh my God.
Yum. Pecan pie. Now we're talking Thanksgiving. Pecan pie recipe. Please tell me we don't have to use Caro syrup in it. We don't. Eggs. Dark brown soft sugar, maple syrup, vanilla paste, lemon juice. You don't have to use nasty Caro syrup. I love it. Thank you, Great British Baking Show. Chocolate hazelnut tort, another showstopper.
Ooh, that's a good idea too.
Those of you just joining us on YouTube, we're looking through a Bake for All Seasons, the autumn chapter. Here's a plum and ginger cake. Not very Thanksgiving-y. I would totally serve that on Christmas. Breadsticks, blackberry and pear crumble cake.
Yum.
Apple and quince chaussons. I'm not sure I said that right. I
that.
tried to say it very pretentiously. Chaussons. And let's finish with Tom's blackberry and apple cake with chai buttercream.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Stunning. That is one of my favorite cookbooks for the holidays. The Great British Baking Show. A Bake for All Seasons.
Yum. Perfect.
Now, I have from the library the giant 13th edition heavy Betty Crocker cookbook.
Whoa, that is really big.
It is really everything you need. It's 375 new recipes, and they're teaching you how to cook everything you need ever. American food, though, for sure.
Yeah.
They teach you how to cook rice on the stovetop the right way. They really get down to the basics. So I don't know how I'm going to cherry pick. Oh, this is way more international and global foods than it would have been when my mom cooked out of the picture cookbook. Oh, it's snowing. I wish I could show you guys the snow out my window, but my house is so messy. I'm kind of embarrassed, but shall we do it?
If you want to.
Let's do it. Here's my window. Oh, you can't see the snow. Shoot. It's very pretty.
Oh.
Okay. Chorizo manchego flatbread would never have been in a Betty Crocker cookbook from the 70s. Spinach feta naan pizzas. So this is a massive cookbook. It's heavy. They have the pages color coded, which is very helpful. I don't know if you can see that.
We can make you front and center. That looks really awesome.
So they're color coded, and they occasionally have big pictures, but mostly they have little tiny pictures, which is fine. They have a lot to cover. Heirloom, new twist. Here's their turkey recipe: bread stuffing, pan gravy, roast turkey. This must be a Thanksgiving chapter. I don't know. Roasted brine duck, turkey breast with gravy. We're so lucky I automatically turned to this.
Yeah, that was
turkey and wild rice casserole. And then there's a fish and shellfish chapter. So this is very, very comprehensive. I would say if you make American food, but you're open to some global flavors and you're only going to have one cookbook in the house you actually cook from instead of just Googling, it would probably be this one. It's classic.
That kind of reminds me of the Food Lab, actually, the way that they've designed it. It's pretty similar. So very cool.
They have massive amounts of employees and cooks and testers and recipe creators, and a lot of work goes into this cookbook because they know it is going to be an American classic. And probably 50 years from now, when I'm 100 and about to die, okay, I'll be gone. This is something my grandkids would be like, thank God Aunt Carrie saved this book for us because now we can learn to cook like they did in 2022.
Yeah.
So we have been live streaming for 2 hours. We need to eat. I need to run to the library before the snow gets worse.
Oh,
shall we say farewell to our favorite Amazon people? And one more comment from Ye Savage. They only own one cookbook, which is based on Japanese dishes, but you'll get more someday. You like cooking a lot. It became your favorite hobby. Great. I hope you have subscribed to us over on YouTube because we like to look through and give you previews of lots of cookbooks. We don't cook or bake from them. We're not reviewing them. We're just helping you figure out what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah.
Any final comments on Thanksgiving, Katie?
Oh, boy. I really liked your pep talk. Just taking a moment. Just being present, I think is really important, especially these days. We get really amped up for this stuff. So just taking it easy. It's a long weekend. Enjoy it. Like,
Yes.
and food, movies. Yeah. You know,
I love your
super
Lord of the
chill.
Rings marathon. I do mine after on Christmas break, not Thanksgiving, but I
Yes.
feel you.
I like that
so fun.
you can switch it up, do whatever. Some people like to do Harry Potter on Christmas, so it's like, you know, you pick and choose. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and be careful out there. Be gentle with each other and respectful. And
Be sure to
happy
tune in
Thanksgiving.
to our live streams on Black Friday. We'll be showing lots and lots of kids' toys and Amazon deals on gifts.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see you next time, you guys.